afternoon, everybody. It's Peter Inglesby with the Botany Bot Tournament wrap-up and show and tell.
Good evening. I don't know how many people here have been taking part in the bot tournament. I'm not sure how many of you have known that it's been going on, but at least 20 people seem to have been doing nothing but getting their bots to play Connect 4 and getting more and more angry with me, and that's been fantastic. We've got half an hour. I'm sorry for starting slightly late. I was making a few tweaks to the server until about 2 minutes ago, and I lost a trailing slash in Django, which is infuriating. This is a competition. There are prizes, and what I thought we would do is present the prizes to the winners, who I hope are here. And then we will play some games against some of the winning bots. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work, but perhaps you could, well, we'll see. And then if the winners want to talk about the strategies they used, they can. All the code is now, or all the code for the bots is now on the website. The URL is botany18.pyconuk.org. There's a link to that from the Botany channel in Slack. We had 327 bots entered in total from 20 people who weren't me or the house bots. Is that at all visible, readable? It's probably not, isn't it? No. Is that better? A bit. There's not much I can do about that now, I'm afraid. 327 bots submitted from 20 people. We played 39,169 games of Connect 4 over the last few days. And at the end of that, a bot called Not Minimax version 25 from Robert Seaman has come out top. So the way that it works is that everybody was able to submit as many bots as they wanted, but you could only have one active bot at one time. All the active bots played against each other 10 times, 5 times going first, 5 times going second. With 25 active bots, each bot played 240 times, and Robert's bot won 220 out of those 240 times, which I think is pretty impressive. Now, is Robert here? Fantastic. Would you like to come on stage? Oh, well done.
Thank you.
It's good to put a face to a name. Do you fancy talking about your strategy at all? Or
Yeah, sure. So,
should we look at the code?
Yeah, go for it. It'd be easier to start off with the earlier ones, but we can go with this one. So I actually started off trying to write a minimax method, and I quickly realized there wasn't enough opcodes for it. Sorry. Hello. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I originally tried to start off writing a minimax method, but I quickly realized that there wasn't enough opcodes to do that.
Sorry, can you explain roughly what minimax is?
Okay, so in game theory, there's a strategy called minimax, which you try to maximize your position and minimize the opponent's. So basically, you're expanding the tree and you're playing multiple turns in a row, trying to find the best result of the game. It's really strong, but it does take a lot of CPU and, in this case, a lot of opcodes, which we don't have.
So the thing that Robert's referring to there is that every bot was limited in the amount of computation that it could do per turn to stop people trying to explore the whole state space in one go. So I think some people found the opcode limit quite frustrating.
Yes.
And
yeah, so I quickly changed it around. I thought I'd keep the minimax name just to throw through a few people off, and I think it did. So I apologize for anybody who's here who thought I was actually writing minimax and I wasn't. So I went with like quite a simple approach. So my first day I started off pretty much just saying is there a move that I can win? If there is, I'll take it. And if there's a move that the enemy can win, I'll block them. And then the rest, I just kind of said, okay, try and place a piece in the middle and then kind of expand outwards. And that worked well for like the first evening. I was first for a few hours. And then then Sev came along and thrashed me. So I rewrote it a little bit more, installed Python 3.7 and started analyzing the opcodes. And then I realized that there's a lot of expensive computation that I was doing, like copying the board and stuff. So it's hard to explain unless you've tried writing a bot. But yeah, carry on. So basically, I expanded it out and just tried multiple methods. I think I've got the code here. Ooh, hello.
So we can't go into sort of masses of detail here, but the fact that it's not that sophisticated in some ways is interesting.
Yes.
So thank you. Well done. The code is online. Have you played against the bot yourself?
No.
Do you want to?
Oh, guys, I can try.
Shall we try? Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
First. So players X. Okay.
Yeah.
How are you with a Mac keyboard? Or
yeah,
a Mac
all right.
mouse? Okay. So can you click on a column, and that's going to be where you're going to go.
Okay.
So
right.
we're playing as X.
Oh.
No pressure.
I know. This is painful. I've got so much pressure. Don't laugh, please. Okay. I find it easier to play without having to find out how I'm going to write that in code. Okay. Okay, I can just win here. This is good. Yay!
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So would you like to go and get a book from the table? O'Reilly have very generously sponsored this competition, and they've provided 6 books. And if you'd like to go and help yourself and tweet something nice to O'Reilly,
okay.
if you like. But thank you, and well done.
Thank you, everyone.
So we have some other prizes as well. The next competition, or the next prize, was for the best beginner. And by that, I meant somebody who'd been programming for less than a year. Unfortunately, nobody who'd been programming for less than a year entered, which is a bit disappointing. And if I do this again next year, I'd like to do more to make it more accessible to new programmers. So that one is unclaimed. We then had a number of other prizes. One was for the Worsted show, and we have a tie. So if we go down to the very bottom of the leaderboard, we see that James Campbell and his horrible.py version 4 has played 240 and won 5. Ronan Murphy, her loser.py, has played 240 and also won 5. And I think what happens if you look at the head-to-heads between these two bots is that they've all lost to everybody except each other. Okay. So, is Ronan here? Hello, James. Do you want to come up? Do you want to come up as well? Fortunately, the last prize was uncontested. Otherwise, I think we might have had to have, had a game between you to see who could lose fastest. Do you want to? So, have you seen each other's code? No. No.
Yes.
Okay.
It's very similar.
Very similar. Okay. Shall we look quickly at your code, James?
Go for it.
How do we do that? down here, isn't it? So this is a fairly simple tournament. Can you talk through what it does?
So basically the opposite of the bot that won everything. It checks if there's a move that the opponent can win on the next turn, and if there is, it avoids it. It checks if there's a move where I can win on the next turn, and if there is, it avoids it. And then, whereas you were playing from kind of the middle outwards, it starts at the edge and works its way in, because they're the worst spots, which I think was quite similar. When I looked at your code, it was a very, very similar situation. So that was that preferences list. So start at the very right-hand column, then go to the very left-hand column and kind of work your way into the middle, because we don't want that middle column.
I think I have the exact same line of code in my the 605.
Good. Okay. Well, would you like to each go and choose a book from O'Reilly?
Thank you very much.
Okay, the next prize is in the one-hit wonder category, and this is for somebody who submitted precisely one bot. Now, you'll see that Rob submitted 25 versions of Not Minimax, and I think overall submitted lots of bots. On the other hand, Sergey submitted just one bot, and that bot won a lot more than it lost. So in just one attempt, you've done very well. So we were talking in the pub last night, and you said that you've been working on the problem since submitting this, but you wanted to hold off because you thought your first bot was good enough. If you'd like to send me your code, perhaps later we can run that and see how it would have done. But would you like to come up and collect a book? Okay, so the next prize is for the best goldfish, and by that I mean a bot that remembers nothing about its previous moves. So bots had the option to return not just a column to drop a token in, but some state that they'd computed that would then get passed back to it on the next go. In fact, our top 3 bots didn't use that at all, so they didn't store any state, and they computed stuff from scratch each time. So Severin Hat, are you here? Hi. You've come second, but you were certainly at the top of the board for much of the weekend. Would you like to come and collect a prize? As Robert's already had one.
Hi there. So my specialty is not programming, so I'm a Connect 4 expert. So the way I've done it is, it seems obvious from the get-go that there was not enough memory, so I tried to limit as much as possible what I would do. So what I did is I look at all potential Connect 4s you could get, and look only the ones that I could reach by in my play. This way that will limit a lot of the choices, and I just went for the one that has the most choices, and that get me a lot of success at the beginning. But after that, Robert was really too good, so I couldn't catch up. That's it. So I tried to implement other things, but it really didn't work.
Okay. Can you explain the name of your bot?
I tried to do like Robert. I tried to give them random names so people will get confused. So I would change the name even though the program hasn't changed.
Okay, that's quite sneaky. Good, well done. Do you fancy playing against your bot in public?
Oh, yeah.
So let's click on the bot and click whether you want to play as X or Y, X or O.
Okay. So, here it is. So at the beginning, it will go in the center because the centers are the ones that are the most interesting. And after that, what he tries to do is basically you can't win, because every time you try to win, like let's say, I don't know, try to simulate a win, you will try to block it, because every time he sees 2, he says, oh, he's going to win, so I'm going to block it. So what you need to do is try to have a sequence of winnings, position. So let's try to simulate one. So I'm trying to create one here. Let's try to see if I create one here. Oh, he's seen it. I know there's a bug, because sometimes he gets a little bit confused. So basically what I want is I want him to play downstairs, this one here, so I'm just going to be stupid. Should this work? Oh, almost got me.
Oh, he's won.
Oh, he's already won! Ah.
Well done. Okay, let me get a book from the table. So I found when I was developing this that I would write some quite simple bots that would beat me, and I would end up attributing sort of far more intelligence and malice to random dot choice than is fair. And the last prize is for the smallest bot that beats all of the house bots. So the house bots were 4 simple bots that I wrote that would give people a chance to just understand what the code should be doing. And the smallest bot, and this was measured in the size of the AST, which is a representation of the code, so that your variables could be long or spread over lots of lines. That's not what's interesting in making a small bot. The smallest bot was just 77 nodes in the AST, and that's for Matt. So, well done. So shall we look at your code, just see how small it is? In comparison, the biggest bot is probably Robert's, which is 3,501 AST nodes. I haven't checked that, but that looks right. And the smallest that was able to beat the house bots was small.py. And if we look at the code, it's not really doing much at all. In fact, that's almost tweetable, isn't it? Can you talk us through what this does?
Yeah.
Let's make it as big as possible. Is that? Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to admit to having written this bot on the basis of looking at the prizes and noticing that no one had any bots that were named like they were trying to get this prize. So it's actually basically a combination of 2 of the house bots. So all I'm doing is trying both X and O in each column. If there's a winner of either side, either me or the other player, then I'll take that because that's kind of, yeah, so that's basically what antagonist and opportunist. And then, yeah, if neither of those work, then just return a random choice from the available columns. And yeah, this bit is kind of basically inlined one of your functions and then refactored to make it a bit smaller. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I think I feel a bit like I cheated because no one else competed, but yeah.
Okay, well done. Do you want to go and make a choice from a list containing one element? So I'd like to say thank you to everybody who took part, everybody who came to talk to me about it, came to harangue me in person or on Slack. I think that this worked fairly well. I'd be really interested in any feedback you've got, how we might do it better another time. Sorry? More advertisement. Well, thank you. Part of me was a bit concerned that it would be too popular. I wrote most of this code on Thursday night, so there were going to be a few sort of rough edges, which people found. But yes, I'm going to be sprinting on this tomorrow. If you took part and have any ideas for things you'd like to improve, come and let me know. If you fancy sprinting, it's a fairly straightforward Django app with a bit of some fun testing with hypothesis. Yeah, so I'll be around tomorrow. I'm getting waved at, so I think I should call it a day there. So thank you, and it's probably time for lightning talks.